Hey folks, welcome back to the Feroz Motor channel. Today we have the opportunity to do a voiceover and review of my car comparing against some American muscle counterparts. Here I'm out at New York Safety Track here in Jacksonville, New York by Potenza, and I'm out with my guys being the Drivers Republic. This is, I believe, the third session, third to last, and we are about warmed up and ready to go. So in front of us is my friend Nino in his C5 Z06. Quite an amazing car. I had to experience it down at the Tail of the Dragon. For my little brief drive-through as he gave me, it definitely gave me appreciation and respect to what those cars are. Definitely the most rowdy natural aspirated V8 I've ever experienced. With that being said, out here, this is another animal in itself, wrangling this course down at New York Safety Track. I definitely got a groove and well-kept pace throughout the day. So you guys see my other videos vlogging today and another one of my sessions, but overall it's just such a fun and awesome course. That being said, we are out here and about to start soon wrangling Nino in his car. So some quick things about it. I believe it is on coilovers, and he is running 305 or 315 square RT660s. I'm running a 285 RE71 RS. So now, one thing I was talking to him was that he was running, I believe, the club spec tire or condition for the vehicle, so that's why he had that much grip, and I'm actually completely baffled that he could fit that much tire under that car. I do know that it has motorsports and everything in mind, but so much tire, those steamrollers are going all over the place. He does have it on some 10.5 inch wide rims. I did say that a wider rim would definitely benefit having all that tire, because it is kind of bulbous or kind of overstretched at those sizes. With what I'm running on my 285s on an 11, I have all the lateral wheel support to help me make sure I'm optimizing on that speed and longevity out here on track. And as you guys can see, it is doing some light work here as we're slowly carving our way and gaining an advantage here on Nino. But in the straights, I do believe he pulls on me, or we are pretty much even. He did say that is not the case, but as you see here, maybe I'm slowly eking him out as I'm letting off and don't want to get too close. But with me being in the rear view mirror, I am putting pressure on him in the back as we're going out. This was the intermediate group. He did start out in the morning in beginner, and I'm really proud to see how far he came throughout the day, with him being only a second off my pace, which is honestly pretty remarkable for both of us. That being said, we're trying our best to make a gap in connection. He definitely takes a couple of bit different lines than me. I like to cut it a little bit tighter as I'm working in through these hairpin double apex areas. And this turn definitely caught out a lot of people throughout the day. Kind of want to hug in close or go in a bit wide. Kind of depends on what your car is giving you grip wise. Do believe there's a lot of camber when you start staying close hugging this line. It's just straight out towards Wheeler Hill, and once you crest over this, the car gets a little light and you just want to power out and go straight. As I'm passing my friend Pernice here in his NC3 Miata. But all good vibes, all good time. Down here out in the SS, the long wheelbase stability of my car is definitely right at home with what the Germans are doing with their Autobahn cruising. Definitely trying to find a fun line here. I like to hug it, and you just feel so fast going through there as the camber just hugs your tire and turns as it goes. But currently with my car setup, this was with my Titan 7 19 by 11 square set. I must say, guys, this is the set to run on this car. Thankfully, with the camber setup and everything I have with my alignment settings, this car is just absolutely bonkers, stupid fast, super safe, and super comfortable at that limit. But as we're going here, we're going to pass Nino as the pressure finally got to him. We're going to keep on going, but such a car, such a platform, and to still compare what my four-door family hauler can do compared to a dedicated sports car pass, that car is definitely no slouch. But with some moving magic here, we're going to move on to our next target, which I was managing to deal with, which is a Camaro 1LE. I believe this is a naturally aspirated one, as definitely did not kill me on the straights, but this was another combatant out here that gave me a very good run for my money. But it's really cool to get another car that's kind of in similar level, especially with driver as well, and it gives me more motivation to cut my line, make sure I'm driving with intent here to kind of get that point by and fight for it. But there's no other excuse here of just trying to have some clean, good driving on my way here to get him in every advantage that I get. But I did not get to meet with the owner, but we'll just see how we were doing here. I definitely have heard a lot about how people rave about that platform. It's just super fast, super reliable, and very stout with that LT1 motor on the Alpha chassis. The Camaros do a great job of putting power down with their steering inputs and everything. Car got a little loose there, was a little careful. Especially with me doing a lapping day with these tires, meaning the RE71 RS, they are not meant for this endurance type of pace. And as the day was going on, especially with how long the session was going, they definitely degraded midway after a couple of hard laps. But here we're doing our best to make sure we are going here and carving as much time as we can. That one turn before, as I downshifted the second to make the turn, definitely felt pretty sketch in some ways, as I only have kind of one leg on the brake, foot on the clutch, and a hand off the wheel as we're holding that turn to shift up the second. So kind of like taking a screenshot with using all of your extremities there to get there. But we're going to keep on going. That's one of my favorite spots. I think I catch a lot of people how much speed I'm carrying through there. You could just almost be flat and slingshot your way through as I'm catching a little power slide on the way out. I did actually go off on my last session there just from, carrying too much speed sideways and from much angle. But see, even in the straights here, he is just even with me as going out. Of course, we're not racing here. We're having a good time. And it's just really remarkable to see how we are doing at this pace. So obviously it looks like I caught him here a little bit in the braking. Either he over-braked or just the line is a little different. But he likes to go out wide there. I stay kind of tight and hook to the left as I cut in sharp here on the right. Like I said, folks take different lines, different angles and tacks of approach, but that just seemed to work best for me. So we're kind of neck and neck here. I mean, I don't want to be too close to the people because, of course, it's just not worth rear-ending somewhere getting there. But you also want to know that I'm in their back of the face. And it did a four-wheel drift there, caught the car. But like I said, with this platform and how much tire and grip I have with this wheel laterally support-wise, it just feels so safe at the limit, and also once you let it go. We are hitting some crazy speeds. I wish I had the odometer and speedometer for you guys to see there, but in the S's here, I'm around like 80 to 100 miles an hour, trying to hunker down and get my best times. These were definitely not my fastest laps, just due to me focusing on the traffic at hand and everything. There's my buddy Juiced over there. Met him, super cool guy. Great job with the point buys as we're making our way through. But you see in these turns and everything, I am just slowly getting that gap. I pride myself saying that, even though with a lot of modern cars, people like to not give them credit with how well they perform and everything and kind of how they're modern cheat codes, but you really do have to wrangle this car and keep it in its place. It can definitely step out and bite you if you're not careful. I think I do a good job in wrangling this monster with everything I've set up and cut it out to do. But here I believe the pressure finally got to him. Either his tires are giving out or he's just not want to deal with me in his mirror. And I finally get that point by. But see, even in the straight, he has to let off to let me get through because that car just pulls like a freight train. Hard on brakes here, and we'll get back to Nino. So here, this is my personal best, I believe. This is when I was catching Nino back at his pace. This also might have been his personal best as well, where he got around a 141, and I got my 140.2, I believe. But we're just going to keep hugging on and going here. Try my best to be as clean as possible as we're going to it, but there's just so much time on both these platforms. What I ideally want to run next season is primarily, or what's really whatever is cheapest. I'm always a gremlin when it comes to finding good tire deals, but I believe I'm going to be running the Continental Extreme Contact Force in a 295/30/19 size. My main priority, of course, is seat time. It's something that's going to last me the whole season. Tires are super expensive for my car. Kind of found a way to automate and get everything under lifetime in ways to not have to spend more on consumables, as it can be very expensive, and kind of focus on just doing events, gas, and having just to deal with tires. But a nice drift there as we're going through. But I think that tire can be a good job and just give me a consistent pace and something I can learn on. Primarily what I started first in the season was on my 19x10 ET12 square Apex set, and I was running my Hankook RS4s, which did a good job in surviving the season. Did about 4 or 5 events on those, and those were also some used tires, so I definitely got my money's worth there. But next season I think I'm going to do it right, to start with a fresh set of tires and have me last me the whole season if I can, rotating them as it is a square set. But here we're going to keep going and going as we're pushing to the top. I definitely could save a lot of time if I wasn't just trying to fight the rear with all this drifting going on, but definitely made the best of what we did with these tires. I got this set used from a guy out in Indiana. Super great deal, super awesome guy to help me out with getting these, and they definitely had some use on them, especially the shoulders were beat to snot. But regardless, I definitely got whatever's left and whatever's time out of them, and they did a great job for the circumstances. I had a plug in one, a plug in another, some nails, and some tread already delaminated. So these kind of tires were pretty shot. Thank God they got me home one piece. When I got back, they looked like a pretty much Hoosier slick. So had to be very careful. Thank God it wasn't raining, but such a great time, such a great objective and everything. And of course, I have to end the video with me passing my good friend Angelo in his NC2 Miata. I did make a mistake in my previous video saying it was speed yellow or competition yellow. I believe it is just a speed yellow. And like that, take our point by and continue to the next video. If you guys appreciate or like this comment, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know down below what's your favorite platform or how I'm doing with this vehicle. I think it is a great comparison to see what the American rivals are doing out there. I try my best to do more track comparison videos with these cars once I'm out during the season. I believe it's going to be the last track day event I have of this year, so please hang tight. I will try my best to get more car reviews, more other type of content out there. I appreciate all the love and support everyone's given me for this channel. And this is your host, Ryan, Feroz Moto, signing out. Peace.